Channel here, bringing you a Black and White 2 OU battle against Cody. It was a pretty fun match. In the team preview, you're going to see he has an Infernape, a Scizor, a Gliscor, a Latios, a Magnezone, and a Chansey. I'm pretty much worried about the Infernape and the Scizor since they can rate pretty much my whole team. And on my side, you'll see I have a Landorus, Kyurem, Heatran, Tyranitar, Mamoswine, and Chansey. My Chansey and my Tyranitar are pretty much my walls. And I'm pretty much just worried about losing my Kyurem to stuff because that's what can pretty much like rape his Gliscor that I'm worried about. And my Mamoswine, so let's just pretty much get this going. I'm going to start out with my Neanderus, my Landorus, and he's just going to start off with his Infernape, And right there, I start out with this knowing that he would go for the Infernape, just so I could intimidate it and pretty much like just switch out of there first turn. So I pretty much just do that. I'm just going to U-turn out of there knowing that he would not want to stay in on Landorus. So I hit it with U-turn and switch out, and I'll bring in Ralph, my Mamoswine. And right here I was worried that it was gonna set up on me, so I just decided to go for the Reflect first turn, because I was worried he would either set up on me or just Protect Stall to see what I was gonna do. But he just sets up his rocks, and he decides to go for the Toxic this turn when I actually thought he would Protect or switch out, and I just go for the Icicle Crash, just wanting to hit anything that would come in, like the Latios or something, if he decided to think I was gonna Earthquake since he thought I was gonna switch or whatever. So pretty much took out the thing that was gonna wall most of my things. So now he's gonna bring in his Infernape right there, and so I switch out and I am gonna bring in my Sugar Rush, my Heatran, to pretty much take the Flare Blitz that I thought was coming my way, but he just decides to go for the U-turn. Because I thought he was going to go for Flare Blitz, predicting me to go into Landorus, so his close combat would do more, but he just decided to go for the U-turn, which worked out well for him. So he just decides to bring in his Latios. And right there, since I know it can Surf me, so I just decided to stay in and go for the Stealth Rocks. Since I know I could take at least one Surf, but he decides to go for the Trick, and gives me a Choice Scarf and takes my leftover since I am a bulky Heatran. I was carrying leftovers, and I just decide I have to switch out right there because I can't go for the Stealth Rocks again since I'm Scarf now. And I go into my Double Wife, my Chansey. I take some Stealth Rocks damage, and then he goes for the Trick again, which I pretty much saw that coming my way. And since there wasn't anything like much I would have to like worry about on his side with the Eviolite and stuff, I just decided to take the leftovers, which would be beneficial for me. And my Reflect wears off right there, and he decides to switch out. And he brings in his Kyurem Killer, which I knew that was also coming my way since he probably predicted the Toxic coming, so I just stupidly stuck onto the Toxic. I'm gonna get some HP back with the leftovers. And right here, I know he was gonna go for the Pursuit, so I just decided to go for the Wish, I believe. Right there, and once I saw the damage from the Pursuit, I pretty much thought he was banded since I didn't see Life Orb damage on him. So I knew he wasn't gonna stick into the Pursuit because he knew I was probably gonna Protect. So I just decided to go for the Seismic Toss since I pretty much thought him to switch out. So I do, and it does work out in my favor because he brings in Infernape. I get my HP back completely with the Wish. And he goes for the Hidden Power, predicting me to go into Landorus, which I also saw coming that time. Because I'm like, if I go into Landorus, he's going to hit me hard. Maybe he's going to hit me with something that's going to kill him, because I was scared of that thing when he told me it could pretty much rape my whole team. So I just stayed in knowing that I could take any hidden power he wanted to throw at me if I brought in the Landorus or the Flare Blitz. And he just decides to bring in his Kyurem Killer, and right there I decide that I'm not going to need Chansey anymore. So I just left it in to see what he wanted to go for, and he goes for the superpower. So now I know he's locked into a superpower, and I can bring in Heatran, and since I'm scarfed I can outspeed it with and go for the Magma Storm on it. So I basically just decide to do that, and I do bring it in, and right there I'm thinking he's probably gonna want to switch into his Latios, knowing that I'm gonna go for the Magma Storm since I'm scarfed. So I'm just gonna go for the Hidden Power Ice, and he does bring in the Latios, and he gets hit with Hidden Power Ice in the face. So that was pretty good on my part. So I hit the Latios right there, and I was worried that it was that I was stupidly worrying it was scarfed, knowing that it was leftover since it got my no, it had the Eviolite, sorry. So he knew I could outspeed it. So I switched out right there because I know he would switch out, and I bring in my Tyranitar. And here's where I start acting stupid. I just I predict him to predict me to go for the ground type move. So I go for the Dark Pulse, thinking he's gonna bring in the Latios to take the ground type move. So I just go for the Dark Pulse, and he goes for the Flash Cannon there. So as soon as he goes for the Flash Cannon, it hits. I'm like, okay, just lost Tyranitar, and it's not that bad because I really didn't need it for much, since it's a special attacking Tyranitar. So right there I'm just gonna leave it in and sacrifice it to the Magnezone. And right there I was thinking what I should bring in. Should I bring in my Heatran? And I'm like, yeah, I'll bring it in. He's probably gonna decide to switch out though, so I'm just gonna go right there for the Magma Storm, thinking he's gonna bring in his stupid Chansey. And he does. He takes some Stealth Rock damage, and I go for the Magma Storm. And I decided to go for it since I knew he would take Sandstorm damage and some Magma Storm damage since he's locked in with it. So that helped me bring it down a bit. Right there, I didn't want to make Heatran lose any more HP than was necessary, so I just decided to switch out into Ralph to take the Seismic Toss. And he's pretty much running the same set on his Chansey as I am, but he's probably running more HP than I am. He's probably just doing a max HP, max defense, I'm guessing, since most of my attacks were doing not so much to it. So I just decided to fire off an Earthquake. And we both played our Chanseys pretty, like with balls, I'm saying. Since he just decides to leave it in, I decide to leave mine in. Pretty much just playing it as unpredictably as possible with the Chansey. So right there, he's basically racking up the toxic damage on me, and he just decides to go for the Protect right there to rack up some more. And I just stick with the Earthquake. And again, he takes some more damage from the Sandstorm. I get some HP back with leftovers, but the Toxic is bringing me down. I just have one more turn, and that did help him using that Chansey to wither away my Ralph. And right there I take out the Chansey, but I also lose my Mamoswine. And if I would have switched out, I'm guessing he would have went for the Soft Boiled, which would not have helped me at all, so that's why I pretty much left Ralph in. I just decided to send in Landorus since I'm scarfed and I can U-turn if he decides to bring anything that's not like favorable for me. So I got off the Intimidate, and right there I'm just gonna go for the Superpower, thinking that he would want to bring in Scizor if I decided to go for the U-turn or the Earthquake. And I kill the Magnezone. And right there I know he's probably going to want to bring in Latios, or yeah, just Latios, and hit me with something, but I know I can hit it, but I won't be able to kill it, so I just decide to switch out into my to my Kyurem, since I know he's probably going to do Surf or Hidden Power Ice. If he has Hidden Power Ice. So, right there, I do take the Surf, which isn't going to do very much to the Kyurem. And I just decide to go for the Fusion Bolt this turn, since I know if he stays in, it's going to die. And I know if he brings in Scizor, it's going to do some pretty hefty damage to it. So he does decide to bring in the Scizor. And like I said, I'm just going to go for the Fusion Bolt to do some damage on the Scizor. And right there, it looks pretty good for me, since the Scizor is going to die from anything I decide to bring in against it. And he's just going to go for the Banded Bullet Punch to kill off my Kyurem. And right there, I can pretty much just bring in my Sugar Rush and kill everything he's got left with Magma Storm. Since I am Scarfed, I can outspeed this, and it's not going to do much to me with Bullet Punch, since it's double resistant and I am max defense. And he just decides to switch out into his Latios to see if he can do more, I'm guessing, with the Scizor. But it's not gonna make much of a difference, since I can kill it. So hope you guys liked. Thank you guys for watching, and go check out his channel if you haven't, but I know you probably have, since since it is Cody. So like I said, thank you guys for watching, and see y'all later.